Well, let's take you to the streets now of Algiers, the Algerian capital. You can see here, this is SnapMap, the tool from the social platform Snapchat. It curates what people are posting from the ground, and you can see here people there posting mass protests, continuing unrest, civil disobedience. Here you can see on the streets vast crowds confronting law enforcement there. They are demanding that there is an even greater change to the country, the former French colony, of course, the greater change to the country's constitution. They want to see things really shaken up. You can see here people posting, a lot of people out there on the streets, and particularly we know police turned water cannon on some of these crowds at one point. And Matthew from our team here in the Cube reaching out, speaking to a journalist who observed these scenes. Well, that journalist told him that crowds like this were shouting, well, give us some shampoo to go with the water cannon. Give us some shampoo and we'll feel better. The idea here that even facing water cannon, the mood is defiant. They are standing up to the authorities. Now, you might be forgiven for thinking there's been a lot going on in Algeria. Why is this still going on? Because after all, last week, the country's 80-year-old president resigned after being in charge of the country for 20 years. Well, it's all about the man who stepped into his shoes. This is Ben Salah. He has been a high-ranking official and seen as an ally of the ousted President Bouteflika, who resigned after those mass protests last week. The problem protesters have is that this man, Ben Salah, the interim president appointed by Parliament, they see him as too close, as part of the old guard, what they're describing as an old guard that has been in place since the country gained its independence from France. They want not this man to be the interim president overseeing elections in around 90 days, as promised in when the last president stood down. They want him not to do that. They want a completely new cast of characters. We know, of course, the opposition there keen for these elections as well. But I think one of the key things, Isabel, we're seeing from this is despite the resignation of Bouteflika, the president who stood down after weeks of protests, those crowds are not going away. They are not happy that the man put in place as the interim president is going to deliver the changes, is going to oversee the elections they want. And so the situation remains increasingly volatile in Algeria. The role the military will play in all this, that's going to be key and something definitely to watch in the weeks to come.